What's up, guys? How we doing? Two things to start off this video. One, if you watched my video yesterday and got offended because I decided to throw some shade at the left for once, thank you for reminding me to constantly remind you that I'm in the middle, because if you watch me shit on the right and like it and have a problem the one time I do it to the left, that's why I'm in the middle, dude. First of all, I want to say I get it. If you're, 20, 18, in that age range, I get it. Okay? When you're in that age range, 16 to 25, right? I would say that's probably when you're the most passionate about politics, because you're starting to discover the world. You're starting to discover how unfair it is. These problems. You're starting to see and understand the world around you. As a kid, you think everything's perfect. And you start to get it. And you start to get really passionate about it. And you see that there's clearly these injustices here. And think, well, this must be the right side, since this side calls it out. And then you get older and you start to realize things aren't black and white as that. That there are shitty things to both sides, there's good things to both sides. That there's a hell of a lot more than just two sides. And it's not as simple as you thought it was because you were a teenager. But honestly, the older you get, the more you kind of see that both sides want the same thing, and it's definitely you divided. And you start to question if there are even sides at all, and you just start to realize a lot more about life, I guess. And I think most people, when they get older, start to realize that and start to go more towards the middle. The reason why I felt the need to talk about the year I graduated and where technology was at that point, where social media was at that point, is because it's important for you to understand where my, 18-year-old brain was at that point. If you're 20 or 22 watching this right now, then you were 9 or 11 whenever this time I'm talking about occurred. So, my world when I was 18 and your world when you were 18 were two complete different things. I grew up with racist parents. I saw these problems everywhere, in friends, households, damn near everywhere. And then now I'm a teenager and I finally am starting to grasp politics and whatnot, and the first election I get to see is Trump and fucking Hillary. Trump or fucking Hillary. At the same time, social media is skyrocketing. 2015 to 2020, social media, in terms of meme culture, starting to realize that you could actually make a career on here, and just how political social media got and how on it people were. It just skyrocketed. And then the pandemic hit and it skyrocketed even further. And it was very quick. And what I'm trying to say is I get it. But if you're trying to tell me that you don't understand what I mean when I'm talking about people being out there that take woke and make that their entire personality for social media clout, when they don't actually give a flying fuck about these social injustices at hand, they just care about the applause they get for pointing them out, then you're either in denial or you're going through with your fucking blinders on, because those people absolutely exist and they're popping up more and more, and that's a fucking problem. 2, if you saw my video yesterday and got offended because you were some conservative that just thought this was going to be a shit on the left 20-minute video and got mad that I talked about the fact that there are some shitty police officers out there and shit like that, about the system, about people not wanting to change, just pointing out basic shit. I don't fucking care. Alright? I've watched it all my life, and if you want to get mad because you want to pretend like it doesn't exist, that's on you, and I'm not sorry for anything I said. Like, I continue to get disliked for simply stating I had racist parents because you guys are so fucking bigoted and so backwards that you would rather dislike a person's video talking about child abuse and brainwashing than actually, I don't know, look at the point and maybe question if your beliefs are lining up a little bit too much with them, or maybe having to accept the fact that your parents are shitty. Like, I watch all my videos, man, and there was nothing yesterday I haven't said before. I don't know if just people not subscribed watched it or what, but the joke about me comparing an OnlyFans model, saying that, you know, if you watch porn but don't pay for OnlyFans, you're a misogynist, and me making the metaphor that about her being like your local farmer's market, that actually was her saying that. It was literally the fucking caption. She shared a meme that said on it, if you Google porn instead of paying an OnlyFans model, you are an incel and a misogynist. And the caption she wrote on top of the meme said, go local. And I know you know exactly what that implies. And then during our debate, she said that doing OnlyFans and having a regular job are the same, because with a regular job, you're selling your body to the government. And what that is cope. And I'm sure she'll take all the credit whenever we finally get a female president. I was literally quoting her. I wish I fucking took a picture of it, because it's the most insane shit I've ever read. So, if that's what you got offended at, that was me just taking her joke, but there's no way you could possibly know that. But that's literally why it just helps prove my point, doesn't it? That it's promoting sexism. Because if you got mad at that, then really you got mad at an OnlyFans model that said that. And that's why you should watch the whole video. The only other thing I can think of is that somehow, maybe some way, people took it as I'm trying to take credit for as to why we had improved socially, and I'm not at all. I'm just mentioning that I did voice my concerns and did want to help. No, I didn't fucking have an impact on anything. I'm one singular being, but I wasn't alone. And due to that, plus the people that have been fighting their entire fucking lives that are actually oppressed, and the fact that people were finally starting to get it and express it on social media, yeah, that sparked change. But no, nothing that I've voiced or done compares even remotely to the oppressions that people have had to deal with, overcome, and the impact they have made through generations of fighting and not giving up. They are the reasons for the social shift. Both sides have shitty things to them, and you know, and if you want to think with emotion and not be capable of admitting that or looking at that on either side, wherever the fuck you are, that's a you problem. I'm going to talk about that, and if I can't even talk about something as simple as my fucking experience with headphones without getting a downvote, then might as well just talk about how I feel and what I've seen from both sides. And yeah, the majority of people aren't going to like it, but I don't care. It'll find the person it needs to. I'm just talking about what I've observed, lived through, seen, my political head, and yeah, man. People have taken a term like woke and made it less effective. You know, I shouldn't have ended the video by saying it's becoming a bad thing to be woke. I don't believe that. I should have ended it by saying the term woke is starting to lose its meaning. Because it is. I don't remember if it was an interview, a skit, YouTube. I don't remember. But I just remember this person went around and interviewed a bunch of white people and asked them if this term for Hispanics was offensive. And they all said yes. Every single white person said yes. And then they went and they asked Hispanics if this term was offensive to them. And they all said no. And the point that I'm trying to make with that is that's kind of what woke is turning into, is speaking for the people that are oppressed and telling them how they feel. And hell, Key and Peele even kind of did a skit about it, but whatever. And that's not right either, you know? And it's people like that that are making it harder to actually get to where we need to be. The people that are stubborn and racist and misogynistic and stick to the 60s ideals, that have their foot in the sand, they're always going to be that way. Nothing's going to change them. Flat earthers will always think the earth is flat. It doesn't matter. But there's something so gross to me about taking social injustices and pretending to care about them. Not to just make yourself look like a good person. At the end of the day, you should care about them. That's bare minimum, I think. Like, I feel like, and it's sad that that's bare minimum, isn't it? Is that a bad thing to say out loud? It's sad that bare minimum is being able to recognize social injustices, shitty governmental practices, shitty police officers, shitty fucking things. And if you do that, that's the bare minimum for being a good human being. Because you can recognize these things and still be a shitty person. It's just unfortunate that so many people don't even recognize these things. So, yeah, I don't think just because you're not racist and you're not misogynistic that immediately makes you a good person. And people try to use that as a way to, I guess, make them, for the applause, not for the cause. And I've seen it, and you want me to fucking pull up a compilation of videos that prove that? I know you know it exists. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, dude. So, yeah, there's shitty things on both sides. I'm going to talk about that. Not all the time, but if I want to or feel like it, yeah. I mean, I've sat here and made videos that I knew were going to get downvoted to shit, seen by hundreds, just to speak my mind on issues that I see every day. Not for the fucking applause, but to have it out there. To bring attention to an ongoing problem. So, yeah, man, I get the passion, but I have done more to speak up and help than a lot of you motherfuckers that downvote my video will ever do. So, dislike away. like with the parents I had, it's a fucking miracle I ended up not being like most of this goddamn state. So, and again, does that automatically make me a good person? No, it doesn't. But the people that downvote my shit aren't going to make it to that sentence, so doesn't really fucking matter.